Hi, I'm Shannon McGee, strategic business coach and franchise owner with Network in Action here in metropolitan Nashville. And today I have Grant Swertfeger with Sword Sweeper. There's lots of strips in there. Thanks for joining me today. So, okay,
Yeah,
first
you're
tell
welcome.
me where the name Sword Sweeper come from.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. It's actually not that complicated. The German version of my last name is Schwertfeger, which is
Ah,
sword sweeper, and it's a profession. And we've kind of
really?
attached ourselves to this as we've come along and understood what it is that we do as a company and what that job was historically. So I'll shed a little bit of light on that in a minute if you like.
That's awesome. That's fun. I love the way that you tied that in. So, with that, tell me a little bit more about your entrepreneurial journey.
Absolutely. So I've been in software development, and actually, started out in media and journalism. Nearly 3 decades ago. Let's not age myself too much here, but worked for some large media organizations and found myself doing a whole lot of interactive and education type projects. And after a while, moving through different phases of management and running development teams, and honestly, just watching outside organizations get all the fun projects.
Yeah.
I decided that I wanted to get the fun projects and build what I wanted for those projects instead of watching the money go out the door and have to do the stuff that wasn't as fun.
Yeah.
So I started out really geared still towards interactive education stuff. Uh, Turns out that nonprofit education is not really ready to spend a lot of money on technology, especially when it comes to content. So there's just a lot of better avenues to find our creativity. But the cool part about coming from that background is that what's really lacking in a lot of software of usability, especially is the education piece. Most
Mm,
people don't understand how the software is supposed to work, and most of the developers don't understand what they're trying to build in the first place.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
custom software is really where we found our niche, just because at our heart, we're educators. So,
I love that because that means you're talking about user experience too, right? Like
oh,
there's a lot of
absolutely.
folks in
Mhm.
tech that are like, this solves this problem. And it's so complicated or people don't understand how to use it. You've created a whole nother problem. And so
Yeah.
focusing on that knowledge, education, and user experience is so key for success for the company that you're building all of this for.
Yeah, and I'll be frank that a lot of user experience takes their time, looking really at one piece at a time, but they don't really delve into the application as a whole or understand the concepts always of what people are trying to do. So we take it to a little bit step further. Just because we were in the interactive and gaming space,
Mm,
we spent a lot of our time visualizing data, and making, let's just say, gamifying
yeah.
processes that aren't that exciting to begin with. Things like lien resolutions for law firms and medical bills. Not that exciting, but you can make it not painful. And
Mm,
that's really where we come out. We come out from an approach of not just custom software, but a custom experience
mm.
for our clients, not the people, just the people that use it, but the owners as well, as it's their experience with us as well.
I love that. So okay, what might a business be experiencing or, when should they consider like giving you a call, right? Like because I think that if
Yeah.
people don't understand there's solutions out there and they don't know what to look for or listen for, what are some things for people to kind of like how you come in and help them and when should they reach out?
All right. There's a little bit of a joke that I have that you don't come to us first, you come to us second. And the truth is that if you haven't tried anything on your own to solve your problem, you may just find there's a
Mm,
piece of software that already out there that you need.
yeah,
Custom software is not cheap,
yeah.
but neither is some of the software solutions out there. Salesforce, a lot of these things, you'll spend, 5 figures a year, but you'll also spend another 5 to 6 figures customizing it for yourself so that you can spend
Mm,
5 to 6 figures a year. And then you start having to look at where's that return on investment, right?
right.
So one of the first things we ask is, well, what have you tried so far? Who have you been
Mm,
talking to? Try to describe the problem. And usually what we're finding is people have a very specific process that requires a technical solution, and some of these things
okay.
can be automated, some of them cannot, and some of them need people in the middle. just to move a box or check something and verify something. So it's really about the process, and it does vary from client to client. Um,
I'm sure.
but I will
I'm
say this.
sure there's
Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, I'm sure there's so many like variations on that, right? But it sounds like they're primarily like solving some operational issues.
Absolutely, yeah. It usually is some kind of operational issue. It's usually a key part of their business, right? If you're trying to bring 6 different systems together, if you acquire a company
Mm,
and that has a completely separate system and they will not talk to each other, you need something custom to go in between them. That's what we
yeah.
do. We bring it together into a portal. We can build a custom, customer relationship manager, and then tie those together. But the one thing I will say that we're really good at, because we're, again, that whole education and the interactive
Mhm.
type of that, is we want to understand what your product is, what it is you're trying to do, and really put ourselves in that space as if we're a user. And the truth is, some of the software we've built, we've ended up using those clients to give services to my own company, and ended up being a user after we built software for it. So the funny thing is, like, after a while, you'll realize that we know as much about your process as you do,
Mhm.
instead of the other experience of where you were telling them what to build, and then you get exactly what you asked for, but not what you needed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that
We're the
happens a
quite
lot.
the opposite. We want to be a technology partner. Like, we want to be the one in there. We want to have as much stake in the game as you do. You know, we want you to succeed because it makes us succeed, and we can't do that unless we understand what you actually need, and what your actual problems are.
I love it. I love it. Well, Grant, if someone wanted to get a hold of you, what's the best way to reach you?
Well, honestly, through the contact form on our
Mhm.
website, swordsweeper.com. That's all. It's exactly how you think it. Swordsweeper.com. One word.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me today, Grant. This has been fun.
All right. Thank you.